Thailand's King Maha Vajiralongkorn is wrapping up his visit to China 4 days after President Xi Jinping rolled out the red carpet for the monarch. Now, the visit was at the invitation of the Chinese leader to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the sides establishing diplomatic ties in 1975. Bangkok says the trip underlined the deep-rooted friendship between the two countries. China's president, meanwhile, pledged to strengthen strategic alignment with Thailand. Xi said that cooperation would be expanded on a China-Thailand railway link, as well as in artificial intelligence, aerospace, and the digital economy. China is Thailand's biggest trading partner and increasingly a rival to the US as a source of military equipment. A CNA correspondent, Saksit Sasambat, joins us from Bangkok for the very latest. Saksit, the royal visit, what does that mean for China-Thailand relations?
It is a significant event for both countries, with His Majesty King Maha Vajiralongkorn and also Queen Suthida on this weekend trip to China, not only celebrating a golden jubilee, 50 years of diplomatic relations between both countries, but also for Beijing, it is an opportunity to underline its reaffirmation about its commitment of its relations to the Southeast Asian nation as well. And the itinerary, when you look at it, is also pretty stacked as well. Not only meetings and banquets with leaders, and not only with Chinese President Xi Jinping, but also with other leaders of the Communist Party, as well as many visits to cultural and science sites that are important to both countries, especially since the royal couple, his and her Majesty, are being seen as patrons of the arts and culture and religion here in Thailand. But what's also significant is who else was in the delegation. As it is customary, high-ranking cabinet ministers are also required to travel along with the King and Queen as well. So Prime Minister Anutin Charnvirakul was on this trip as well, accompanying their Majesties on this trip. What's also very interesting is that in a statement by the Chinese Foreign Ministry, it says here that China is the first major country that the royals have visited. However, it has to be said, this is not the first country ever that the royal couple has visited. His Majesty King Maha Vajiralongkorn has visited Bhutan earlier this year. That was the first trip ever since he was crowned in 2019. So as you can see, that this has been a weekend full of bilateral celebrations for both countries, but also in the background a strengthening of these ties between both countries, especially when it comes to geopolitical considerations.
So tell us more about that. I mean, Thailand, how is it trying to position itself on the world stage, especially when we've got superpowers like China and the US that are becoming increasingly confrontational?
No, that balancing act is not new, but it seems to be that it has become a more challenging one over the years as well, especially under US President Donald Trump, who has not only been waging a tariff war on many countries, including Thailand, but also its role in the Thai-Cambodian border conflict, which is a pretty good illustration about how different China and the United States are seeing themselves as their role in this region. Now, even in the beginning of this armed conflicts, both China and the United States have been involved and trying to mediate between the countries, as well as also ASEAN chair and Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim also was part of it. But over the course of the weeks, especially during the ASEAN summit in Kuala Lumpur last month, China was didn't have a visible active role, letting US President Donald Trump oversee the signing of a peace declaration between the both countries, even though that has come under incredible strain, causing Donald Trump to come in again to make assessments and also assertments against both countries, especially against Thailand, while this was all happening when Prime Minister Anutin and also his foreign ministers were in Beijing, accompanying the King and Queen at that time as well. So a lot of backdoor diplomacy and also background diplomacy was needed for the Thai government leaders at that time. but it is also an important factor for Beijing in this weekend, also in general, to show itself as a more reliable partner, not only to Thailand, but also to other countries as well. Whether or not this has been successful, that of course remains to be seen, but it is being seen as a milestone between both countries here, especially not only politically, but also in economically and also in many other factors as well.
Many thanks for that. CNA correspondent in Bangkok, Saksit Saisombat.